Hello YouTube and welcome to a new Cigarette Burns movie review, and today it is of Charlie Kaufman's Synecdoche, New York, which he wrote and directed. It's his directional debut, and Charlie Kaufman is of course the fella who wrote Being John Malkovich, Adaptation, both directed by Spike Jonze, and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, directed by Michel Gondry. So you know going into this film that it's by a very talented writer, and everybody was interested to see what he could do when he was given a film to direct. The plot to this movie is one that's very difficult to explain because a lot of it is left up to interpretation, and it's really how you view the film is how you're going to interpret the events that happen. But the basic premise of the movie is a playwright named Caden, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, is awarded a genius grant and basically spends this unlimited amount of money on building a life-size replica of New York in a warehouse, and he's basically going to reenact his own life with actors and stuff and everybody who he's ever met and extras and stuff, so it's like recreating the world that he lives in. And basically stuff happens in this movie that you won't understand the first time you watch it because it does use visual metaphors. For example, there's a scene where a woman is, and it's one of Caden's lovers, is looking at a house to buy, and while she's looking around it with the real estate agent, it's on fire and burning down, and she says, I want the house, but I don't want to die in the fire. And that's basically saying that the decision she makes, you know, could lead to a downfall, but does she want to enjoy it while she makes it? Stuff like that. So it's a very metaphorical movie and quite philosophical and deep, but it's also really, really good. With Charlie Kaufman's past scripts, his vision has always been filtered through another director, and personally I always preferred his work with Spike Jonze, so it was interesting to see him kind of let loose on his own film and see what a completely 100% Charlie Kaufman movie would be like. And it is basically what you'd expect. I mean, it is everything that's good and bad about him. It's kind of meta how he writes himself into the screenplays and stuff, and basically this is kind of based on him and how he sees his career and life and stuff. But it also does really well with what he has always done well, and that's with the quirky characters, the interplay between characters, and the actual story itself, the originality, because that's what you associate with Charlie Kaufman, is seeing something that you haven't seen before, and it's really good. Some could claim that Synecdoche, New York is really self-indulgent and overlong, but I wouldn't, because I honestly think it's brilliant. It is kind of a meditation on life and how you perceive yourself and whether or not you're going to make an impact and stuff like that, and I think Charlie Kaufman does really well with it. And I can see why people would call it self-indulgent, but honestly I think it's one of those that you have to see a few times and kind of peel back the layers to it to fully appreciate what he's trying to do. Performances across the board are brilliant, especially Philip Seymour Hoffman. He does so well in this role that the film spans about like the rest of his life, essentially. Where we meet him, the film carries on and on and on, and you see him until his you know, natural conclusion. I won't go in too much, but you can probably guess what I'm getting at. Philip Seymour Hoffman does really well in the movie, as does Tom Noonan, who plays the actor playing Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, Caden. I thought Tom Noonan was really, really good in this film, and he's rarely given a chance to shine, and he is a great actor, so it's a shame he doesn't get bigger roles in movies, but he is brilliant in this. As are the female talent, because Charlie Kaufman's movies are always rife with female talent, and in here you've got actresses such as like Samantha Morton and Catherine Keener, who's worked on both Being John Malkovich and Adaptation, and she's also in Where the Wild Things Are and stuff, which Charlie Kaufman had nothing to do with, but the relationship that she made with Spike Jonze and stuff was carried on, so that's awesome. So you get some real brilliant female actresses in this, and they all do really, really well with the material. A big point of this movie is just how time passes you by, and a scene which I'm going to tell you about because I don't consider it a spoiler, but I think it's something you'll be interested to know. There's a scene at the beginning where Caden gets up and has breakfast with his family, and basically you hear on the radio them say it's October, and then when he's reading the newspaper the date's like December and stuff, and you see like a whole year pass in that one scene, and you don't know unless you're paying attention. And I thought that was really well done, because that is how some of us feel. You get trapped in a routine, you're doing the same shit every day, time just flies by, and then you sat at the end thinking, what have I got to show for it? So I actually found that to be quite resonant, and to be really kind of heartfelt as well. So that's one of the aspects of the movie I really love, is that the themes are quite relatable as well. And I mean, I can relate to them, so I'm guessing a lot of other people can, but I think they are really well handled. As you'd expect with a Charlie Kaufman script, this film goes to some really strange, dark places, but it never feels like it goes too far. It feels like it goes just far enough. And I won't go into what, but I will tell you that I think the whole thing with Caden's daughter, which is handled in a really weird way. You feel like him. Charlie Kaufman manages to convey that feeling of having her kind of slip away from him, and no matter what he does, he can't get in touch, and you're there kind of almost panting while you're watching it, thinking, you know, you just want to grab her and take her away, and, you know, as if you're him and stuff. I think that was really well conveyed in the film, and is a kind of a highlight of it for me. Okay, so time for a rating. I'd give Synecdoche, New York 4 stars. It misses out on 5 just because it doesn't feel as well-rounded as some of the other movies Charlie Kaufman's wrote, but I do think it's brilliant, and for a directional debut as well, I thought it was fantastic. So that's 4 stars. I highly recommend it to any fans of like Being John Malkovich adaptation, Eternal Sunshine, A Spotless Mind, any of those that he's written. Check this out, give it the benefit of the doubt, don't listen to the negative feedback, because it is worth a watch. You'll either like it or you won't, but if you don't give it a chance and interpret it in your own way, you'll never know. So I really recommend giving it a chance. I, for one, really enjoyed this movie, hence I've got the Blu-ray, which was bought for me by my friend Patrick for my birthday, which was awesome of him, but I highly recommend checking it out, because it is quite a rewarding film. You watch it a couple of times, peel back the layers, you get a lot from it. So that's 4 stars from me. I hope you've enjoyed this review and found it to be quite informative. So this is CivilianSnowman signing out. I'll see you later. Bye.